Good morning, good morning. Top of the hour, everybody. It's the 6th of Tevet. We're already in a new month. Chodesh Tov. Cantor Shivers ate too many sufganiyot for Hanukkah. Good timing. Yes. So we're here to work that off a little bit. Good morning, good day. I'm Cantor Lizzie Shamash. Welcome to IJS Online Yoga Studio. If you're here for the very first time, a really special welcome. We are going to warm up for about 5 minutes, and then I'm going to share a little Torah on this week's portion, which is Vayigash, and then we'll practice some more. And at quarter of the hour, we'll have time for some reflections and Q&A. And a reminder that this is the last yoga session of this year of 2023. We'll be closed next Monday and throughout the week between Christmas and New Year's, 25th and the 31st or the 1st, and we'll be back on Tuesday the 2nd. So no sits next week either. Just a reminder. Our props today, again, 2 blocks and a belt and a blanket, and 2 blocks, a blanket, a belt. Also, lastly, the program that begins, I think, January 8th is Flourish, mindfulness training with Yael Shai and with Rabbi Miriam Margol's amazing team of teachers. So please check that out if you're looking into a mindfulness certification program. It's for Jewish communal professionals. So that link is in the chat. Thank you, Jet. As well, Rabbi Jonathan Slater's prayer project on liturgical prayer, which is fantastic. I've taken it. I highly recommend it. Will be a 4-week prayer practice. And if you've never explored our prayer projects, they're just wonderful little unique modules of 4 weeks each, and they're so meaningful and special, and really help us direct and design our own practice, and it helps as a starting point for our own creativity. So if you've never explored one, I really do highly recommend it. Okay, friends, let's get a start. We're going to begin in child pose, and if the knees are bothering you and child pose is not a good practice for you, I want to suggest that you can do that in a chair. I'll show you. So then you avoid that deep flexion of the knees. You can do child pose in the chair in this way. And if you have something that you can extend and put your hands to, like a wall or a table, then you can do that. So that's a possibility for the chair. If you're comfortable on the floor, you'll sit the buttocks back to the heels and take the knees, widen the knees, and begin to walk the hands forward. And lay the forehead down either on the mat, or perhaps you want to prop the head up on a block. And just rock a little bit side to side. Press into the fingertips and lift the palms and wrists so you can just lengthen a little bit each side waist. Very, very long on the outer seams of your shirt. And then you can just pause and take a couple of breaths here. Feeling the belly move against the thighs, pressing out and against the legs on the inhale, and drawing back toward the midline of your body on the exhale. Perhaps you even feel the breath into your back body, back ribs. If you imagine that the pelvic bowl is an actual bowl and you could fill it like the breath fills, you could fill with water and drain it. Can use that imagery if that's helpful. So really breathing into the whole trunk and feeling the rib cage expand in 4 directions. And then begin to walk the arms, the hands, the arms, and the torso a little bit over to the right. And lengthen, especially through the left palm, the left fingertips, giving a nice stretch to the left side of the body. And just beginning to land here in practice today with chesed, with a lot of love, appreciation, and respect for this body. And then walking the hands back towards center and over to the left. And lengthen especially that right arm, opening through the right side of the body. And just beginning to land and notice how you feel. You can do a scan through your body and just notice any places that are tender. Walking the hands back to the center, or just places that need maybe a little extra care, attention, slowing down. And see if right off the bat you can make a kavanah, an intention to be kind with yourself, very giving during this practice. Walk the hands in. Come on up to all fours and we'll step that right foot forward and come into a low lunge, just letting the torso, the weight of the torso come to the thigh and let the hips drop, and you can pulse that a little. If you've been doing child pose in the chair, and again, you don't want to be on the knees, you can just bend the knee and take hold of the top of the foot or the ankle, or hold with a strap, or even just take the foot to the chair if that works, and just let the thigh lengthen. We're working on opening the thigh, the hip flexor. So you can do this in any position. And if you're on the floor, just pulsing those hips a little bit forward and back. And then begin to take the right arm forward on an inhale. Lengthen those fingertips forward. We're just making a circle, fingertips up toward the ceiling. And just express back behind you with the arm. It's really open, slowly, very slow circle. Again, just working on a little twist here and opening up the breath and the rib cage. You can take the gaze with you. Inhaling as you come up and exhaling as you go back and down. You can stretch and wiggle those fingers. We want to enliven through the hands as well. And then pause. Draw the hips back and straighten through that right leg and draw those right toes toward the forehead. And then we're going to switch sides in any way that you like. Bringing the left foot forward and letting the hips once again sink. Lengthen through the tailbone. You can prop up the hands onto blocks if you'd like, if you feel cramped in the front body. Just feeling this in sort of a gooey, easy, slow way. Just exploring, letting the hips open, the quads, the hip flexors, and then beginning to bring the left arm forward. Inhale, up, and exhale as you come back behind you and down. Just taking a few circles, nice and slow, exploratory. Explore your own breath as it links to movement. And see if you can even start to have the feeling here that you're not the one who creates it all. Right? The divine source is your companion, your partner in this and all work. Starting to feel the miracle and the magic of that. in our own lives, really present, and then start to draw the hips back in space, begin to straighten through that left leg and flex through the left toes, draw the toes toward your forehead. And then come on back. You can have a comfortable seat, or you can lay down on your back or your belly as I teach, or stay with some personal stretches as you need them, or sit up tall and close the eyes and just listen and let my words begin to wash over you. So as I said, it's the 6th of Tevet, and our Torah portion this week is Vayigash. We're in the middle of the story of Joseph, and really right in the middle, where he has placed a goblet in the bag of Benjamin, so that Benjamin has to stay and won't be able to leave with the brothers. And Judah steps in and he says, you absolutely can't do that to us, right? Our father will die if he doesn't see Benjamin again. It's not possible. So Joseph becomes so moved by this and about thinking of his aging father that he breaks down and he sobs and he reveals his true identity to his brothers. And so the family becomes more reunited, and Joseph forgives his brothers, and the healing of an incredible amount of trauma in his own life and in his family begins to happen. And something really exquisite happens in chapter 45 here. He reveals his identity, and he says, now listen, he says, don't be distressed or reproach yourselves because you sold me, into slavery in Egypt. It was to save life that God sent me ahead of you. It was to save life that God sent me ahead of you. Ki lemichia shelachani Elohim lifnechem. And then he goes on and continues to invoke God's presence. There's been famine in the land here, and there are still 5 years to come in which there will continue to be famine. There will be no yield. God has sent me, he says again. God has sent me. Vishlachani Elohim lifnechem. He sent me ahead of you to ensure your survival. So it was not you who sent me here, he says, but God. That's the 3rd time. And then again, he says, he's made me a father to Pharaoh and lord of his household. Now hurry back to my father and tell him that God has made me lord of all Egypt, and he should come to meet me without delay. So 4 times he invokes God, and he reframes his story of trauma that he has endured from his brothers. He reframes it to say, hey, don't worry, it was for good. And God has been with me, and God has saved me. So that's one sort of little image I want to leave you with. And then the brothers go back to Jacob to bring him to come to Egypt. And God appears to Jacob in the same way he had to Isaac and to Abraham. And God says, Yaakov, Yaakov. Twice he says his name. And what does Jacob say? Of course, Hineni, I'm here. And God says, I'm the God of your father, and don't fear to go down into Egypt, for I will make you there into a great nation, right? As he said to Jacob's fathers. And God says this, Anochi ered imcha Mitzrayma. I will go down with you into Mitzrayim. I will go down with you into the narrow places, the constricted places, the difficult places. Va'anochi a'alech gam alo v'Yosef yashit yado alenecha. And I will also bring you back out of Egypt, and Joseph's hand will be the one that shall close your eyes. Right? So again, God is appearing to say, I'll be with you. I will take you down into the hard places, and I will lift you back up. So I think that's the main thing that I want to convey. There's so much in this portion. It's so emotional and so healing and so incredible. But this idea that we can reach out and know God has brought us to this place, or God as we know God, source, divine, whatever words you have for God, that there is connection and partnership. So I want to work, again, I'm really thinking of ending our secular year and just feeling our bodies in an open way. I want to work on some forward bending and some back bending today. And think of this sense of divine presence with us in the sense of easeful movement, effortless effort throughout. So let's come to stand. And we'll use a few props today to help orient us in space. We're going to take the block. We're going to put it between the legs, as far up between the thighs as you can. And squeeze the legs together and also roll the thighs in slightly. And as you do so, you feel your pubic bone drop and the tailbone maybe move backwards, and then also lengthen your tailbone. So it's first roll the thighs in, and then second step, lengthen the tailbone. Feel the feet begin to energize and ground as we squeeze that block. Find the four corners of the feet, the inner and outer heel, the ball of the big toe over to the ball of the little toe, and also feel a lift through your arches. See if you don't feel a little more sense of presence through the inner line of the legs, the inseam of the legs. And just find an easy mountain pose here with this. Right, so we're working pretty strongly through the legs, but not overworking. Really just helping us find the lower body, the pelvis, the foundation of the legs, the feet. Great. And then I'll ask you to grab your belt. So if there are shoulder issues, please be mindful for yourself with them. Instead of using the belt, you might want to take the strap wide and just work this way to open your shoulders a little bit. If your shoulders are really tight. If your shoulders feel okay, you're going to belt the strap. And this loop is going to be roughly, when you hold it here, bringing it across your upper chest from inseam of your shirt to inseam of your shirt. Okay? A little bit wider if your shoulders are tight. And then we're going to take the strap around the arms on right below the elbows, on the meatiest part, the widest part of your forearms. Palms are facing each other and the fingertips extended. Ground the feet, and as you inhale, lift the arms up to shoulder height, and then draw the upper arm bones back into the shoulders. Really square yourself here, and then inhale the arms up overhead. And just feel that length and find that place of ease within your effort. Notice where's your gaze, where are your eyes. Bring them right straight ahead of you. And then exhale and come down. So this can be kind of effortful. We want to just relax for a moment before we do it again. And then once again, palms facing each other. Inhale the arms to shoulder height. Exhale, draw the upper arm bones toward the shoulders. Draw your shoulder blades onto your back. And then inhale the arms up overhead. Palms are still facing each other. Fingertips extended. Heels grounded. Arches lifted. See if you can feel that you can ground down from the lower body and also lift the rib cage up off the pelvis. Inhale here and exhale, take a side bend of any amount to the right. Inhale up through center and exhale, side bend left. And one more time each side. Inhale up center, squeeze that block. Press down as you side bend right. Right, so feet pressing down, fingertips extending. Inhale up, press into the feet as you come up, and press into the feet as you side bend. Inhale, press into the feet to come up. And exhale, lower the arms. Good. Well done, well done. Come out of the strap for a second, but just hold it. We're going to move it behind us and just give a little shake to the arms and a little wiggle throughout your body anywhere you need. And then we're going to take the strap behind us. I like to take it a little more toward the wrists for this one, like on the wrists or just above the wrists. The block is still between the legs, and we're going to take a little bit of a back bend. So ground your feet once again. 4 corners of the feet are grounded. The thighs roll in toward each other and squeeze on the block. Good. Press down through those 4 corners of the feet and lift up through the arches. Inhale, press down through the feet, lift up through the chest, and let the arms come behind you and lift up. So from your fingertips, extend. So heart is lifting, tailbone is lengthening, fingertips extending. Good. Either the chin can be tucked slightly if that feels better on your neck, or you can feel your head as part of your neck and reach it back. So you decide. And then to come back, press into the feet, inhale up, exhale, come back to center, release the strap for a moment. Just take a couple of shoulder rolls. Inhaling up, and exhale, squeeze the shoulders and draw down. A couple times like this. Just a reminder to soften, to wiggle a little, to just release control, both in a bodily, physical sense and also a reminder in your mind, right? Soften the forehead, soften the brow. And then take the strap back around the arms. Again, press into the feet. As you inhale, lift from the center of the heart up, and then send those fingertips back, arms extended. And the arms are also pressing against the strap. You've got the scaffolding of the strap. Doesn't have to be the biggest back bend of your life. Mostly it's the pressing down and the lifting up simultaneously, and the legs working with that block. Well done. Press into the feet, inhale, lift up, come back to center. Great job, great job. Okay, we're gonna take a forward fold, kind of a restorative forward fold. And so you'll stack your blocks. And you'll see when you get down, we're going to be placing the head there. You'll see how high you need it. And if this is not high enough, you can use a chair. You could use a table. We're going to take the belt now around the legs. So step into that belt. Bring the strap to the mid-thigh and you'll see how tight you need to make it. But basically you want to belt the thighs so that they're hip width apart or a little bit wider. And really step your feet apart so that you feel like, again, that you're pressing your legs against the strap. Turn the toes in just slightly, just slightly. That is that inner rolling in of the thighs action. Ground those feet, hands to the hips. Inhale, lift the heart, and exhale, fold forward from the hip crease. Lengthen the spine. Good. And then you'll place the head onto the blocks or onto some surface for support. So you fold over. Legs are straight, just a micro bend in the knees. And it's the crown of the head that hits the block here. The crown of the head. So you're sort of stimulating that reflexology point at the crown. Let the belt support the legs. And once again, a reminder, easy in the brow, in the forehead. Little restorative version of a forward fold. And breathe here. Slow, smooth, easy breaths. As you're ready, inhale part way. Exhale the hands to the hips. Press into the feet and inhale to come up. Lift the heart up, draw the elbows back. And exhale, come back to mountain pose. And just pause here again, feeling the legs against the strap really being held. Take one hand to the belly and one hand to the heart. And just pause. You can soften the gaze or you can close the eyes. Just notice how you feel. How are you doing right now? In this moment. I will be with you as you go down into Mitzrayim, and I will be with you as you come up. Whatever you're going through in your own personal sphere at this time, this knowledge that you're not alone. And as you're ready, release the hands, and you can step out of the belt. And we're going to come down onto the belly. You can place a blanket under your hips if you'd like some support. Have your belt nearby when you come down. We'll just begin with a moment of rest in this position. You can make a pillow for your hands. Just rest your forehead. Rock a little side to side on the hips. Let the heels go side to side. Let the legs roll side to side. Just let the legs be like jelly. Easy. And then one more that I like a lot is just like a very slow sort of flutter kick, bending one knee and then bending the other knee while you extend the other leg. Just going back and forth, and draw the navel to the spine. As you do this, sort of toning through the abdomen and finding length and stability in the core. And giving some toning to the tendons and ligaments around the knee, or some awareness. And then just pause. Let the tops of the feet be on the floor. Press into the hands. Draw the navel to the spine and lengthen the tailbone. As you push the hands into the floor, just lengthen through the front body. Bring the head and forehead up. And just breathe here. Inhale. And then exhale, roll down vertebra by vertebra. And then take your hands into place at the sides of your chest with the elbows drawing inward. Let the shoulder blades slide down the back. As you inhale, imagine that somebody's pulling your two big toes away and really lengthening through the legs, through the tailbone, as you send the heart forward the crown forward and start to lift up, baby cobra. And then as you exhale, lower down. And we'll just work this on the breath a couple of times. Inhaling, coming up. There's very little or no weight down into the hands. Exhaling, lower down. Just toning the muscles along the side of the spine. Inhaling, coming up. Be really easy through the low back and through the buttocks. Exhaling, coming down. Good, and then next time you come down, pause. Turn your head to the right, rest on your left cheek, extend the arms, bend through the knees, point the toes, and we're just going to make little circles on the ceiling in one direction and the other direction. Good, and then release the legs. Turn the head once more so that the forehead is down. Take hold of your strap inside the loop, and you'll see maybe you want to make it a little bit smaller or larger, depending again on what your shoulders need. And you're going to put, again, your wrists inside here. Palms are facing each other. Fingertips are open and extended. We're going to inhale, send the fingers back and the heart forward. Just a little lift, and then exhale, lower down. So this inhale is coming from imagining that it's the fingers going back that leads you up. Keep the neck long, part of the rest of the spine. Exhaling down. Once again, inhale up. And exhale down. And pause. And this next time, we're going to inhale both arms and legs up. So here we go. Inhaling, sending the legs and the arms up, the heart up. Smooth, steady breaths. And then as you're ready, lower down. Just pause for a moment. And we'll take it one more time. So as you're ready, inhaling, arms and legs up. And when you're ready, lower down, turn the head to the left, rest on the right cheek, release the strap, release the arms, bend through the knees, and just take one more time little circles on the ceiling, painting little circles. So point the toes. And then the other direction. And then bring the head center, place the forehead down again onto a pillow with the hands. Take little windshield wipers side to side, as small or large a movement as you would like here. Just a little release for the low back. And then I invite you any way in which you want to explore a counter pose to the back bending, any way that your body wants to move, just instinctively, don't think too hard, let your body take you there. Maybe it's sitting up and just sitting back on your heels, maybe it's child pose or puppy, maybe it's downward facing dog, or maybe it's none of these things. Just find a little bit of movement on your own that feels like the next right place to go. Where are you being guided? And let the wisdom come from the body, not from the mind. When you are ready, make your way to a cross-legged seat. You might want to have some propping up on the blanket. And just take an easy twist. No big deal. To one side and then the other side. A time or two. Just finding that side to side motion, right? So we did some forward bending and some back bending, and now just allowing for twisting as counterpose to all of that. Good. And then we're going to deepen it. And you can take left leg long and right knee into the body. Or if you prefer, you can cross the foot across here, or you can also tuck the bottom leg under. So any way which you'd like to set up for this twist. In any case, hands to that right shin. Inhale the body tall. And exhale, take a twist to the right. Just explore this spinning of the rib cage around the spine. Keep the spine tall. We don't want to sink, especially coming out of the lower back. And as you're ready, come back to center, little counter twist to the left. And then we'll switch sides. So see if you would like the same variation that you took on the first side or something else. Hands to the shins, inhale, lift up tall. And exhale, take a twist to the left. The main thing is the tall spine. So inhale and lift the spine. And exhale, twist. Inhale and lift the spine. Exhale and twist. When you're ready, exhale, come back through center. Take a little counter twist over to the right. And let's come back to that cross leg position. From here, with a very tall spine, inhale deeply, and then exhale, we're going to start to bend forward, and you can take a block or couple of blocks to place under the head. Under the forehead, so that you can rest. A lot of length to the spine as you come over, and just drape it and pause where you feel comfortable. Come where you're coming to your edge, and so you feel some sensation in these outer hips, but you're not causing yourself stress or strain. Can even close the eyes here if you'd like. Just slow, easy breaths.
I am with you. I will be with you coming down into Mitzrayim and coming out. Be next to you through your hardships and through your triumphs. And for some of us, this may feel outlandish. Maybe the sense of being alone and isolated is so strong. So as we enter this, or as we rest in this forward fold, which is really one of surrender, of giving over, perhaps we can just allow ourselves to be with any not knowing. And just be able to soften into the possibility of companionship, even from ourself to ourself. And then as you're ready, slowly press up, press through your hands to come up, and whichever shin you had in front, take the other one in front. We're going to come once again into this forward fold. Try to do that without much fuss or activity. And feeling the rib cage expand and contract with the breath. And again, as you're ready, press up into the hands to come up. And I invite you to just take a moment to let your body's wisdom move you in any way that you need before settling into stillness. Just see what movement is being called for. Let it be creative. It may or may not resemble any movement you've ever taken before. Just let it emerge. And then when you're ready, settling into stillness, you can take the blanket and place it under your head or under your knees, or cover yourself with your blanket. And taking stillness. In any way you like. Knees bent or legs straight. Palms facing up or elbows bent and palms down on the belly or on the low ribs. Surrender.
And as you're ready, deepening the breath. Take all the time you need to make your way up to a comfortable seat. May we find ways to work toward our own healing, healing within our own family systems. That's necessary in this lifetime. Healing for our world. And let's close with a blessing, a prayer, a hope, a desire for the safe release of all those in captivity, who remain in captivity, and all who are suffering and in trouble. And we'll close with Achenu kol Beit Yisrael, as we've been doing. You can join with me, or you can just listen. Achenu kol Beit Yisrael, Achenu kol Beit Yisrael, Hanetunim b'tzara ubashivya, Haomdim ben bayam uven bayabasha. Hamakom yerachem aleim veyotziem mitzara lirvacha umeafel aleora umishibud ligeula hashta bagala uvizman kariv. May they be returned in safety and speedily. And we can say V'nomar Amen. Amen. Thank you all for practicing. Shavua Tov. And a happy secular New Year. And we'll see you back on Monday after the first of the year. And I think it'll be the 8th. We're here for reflections and comments and questions. And of course, if this session or any gleanings from IJS have been useful to you, please consider making a donation to IJS in any amount. We're always grateful. And it helps us to continue our free offerings. So thank you.